Welcome back, fight fans. This is BoxTalk. Today, we're going to be talking about the electric state of the zone boxing as well as Ring Magazine boxing that's happened between late April 2025 as well as early to late, I guess now it's late, May 2025 itself. And we may talk about some future events as well. So sit back, enjoy, grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, grab your drink, have a seat, and enjoy this video. Now, why am I backtracking to April 2025? Well, because there's some things that we need to talk about. And with that being said, we're going to talk about the Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn fight. That fight itself was one of the most impressive UK fights that we have had ever. Like, I'm not even going to lie. I haven't seen a fight like that ever, especially in that weight division. This happened in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on April 26, 2025. We had one of the biggest showdowns in boxing history for the UK. We also have had Vidal Riley show off his skills. As you know, if he's a YouTuber, quote, amateur boxer that grew into the professional ranks. He beat Daniel Dubois. Chris Eubank Jr. fight and this Conor Benn fight was supposed to actually happen in 2022, but Conor Benn actually caught a case of the positive PED test, and he had to postpone the fight because obviously he tested positive. They couldn't go with the fight. Well, either way, during this fight, there was an altercation that had happened during one of the events where Chris Eubank Jr. pulled out an egg and slapped Conor Benn in the face with it. Now, his dad, at the same time, Chris Eubank Sr., had a whole, breakdown about it, and he basically said that his son was a disgrace for this. And honestly, I thought that was the craziest thing that I've ever saw any dad tell his son. Like, that was crazy. But either way, he ended up showing up. Chris Eubank Jr. had his dad walk out with him during the walkout, which honestly was probably one of the most unexpected things that we have seen in the boxing world. We thought that Chris Eubank Sr. was not going to show up for this fight and Nigel Benn would, but apparently, they both showed up. Mind you, that Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn fought almost 30 years ago. I think it was 30 years ago, close to 3 decades. They fought twice. Chris Eubank won one. It was a draw on the other, so it was a very historic fight back then. It's still a historic fight now. Regardless of the fact, in the ring, Chris Eubank Jr. showed off his skills. He was able to come out on top and won unanimously against Conor Benn. It was one of those fights where it was kind of hard to score, but at the same time, you could see that even though they were both throwing powerful shots back and forth very furiously throughout the 12 rounds, you could definitely see who was lagging behind. Conor Benn definitely was throwing at least 3 or 4 punches less every exchange when it came to Chris Eubank Jr. But do not get me wrong. Conor Benn would throw a shot or two that would surprise everybody, that would hurt Chris Eubank Jr. and it would have ended the fight. It honestly would have. And those punches that Conor Benn was throwing was just straight from the heart. I have to give my props to Conor Benn for that fight. In this rematch, and this is what I was going with earlier when I was talking about the future, this is part of the future. That fight may happen in September, the rematch. So I think it's a little too early to call it. I think they both had a massive battle in that fight, and I think they need a little bit of time to recover. Now, with there being really, really highs in the boxing world, there's some really, really lows. I mean, low lows. The Fatal Fury event in Times Square was one of the worst boxing events that we have had in so long, and I'm so disappointed. I am a major boxing fan. I thought having these 3 guys coming up, Teofimo, Devin Haney, as well as Ryan Garcia, kind of like the trio, almost like the 4 Kings back in the day. Oh wow, this card was terrible. I mean, the other fights were okay. Teofimo fought a really good fight. I think that Devin Haney either needed a tougher fight in order for him to show his skills like he did with Loma, and maybe even you can even say Ryan, because he did show off a good fight regardless of whatever happened. And then Ryan Garcia basically not being able to show off the skills that he has been known to show, his lightning fast hook. Yes, he's been knocked down several times. I expected and predicted that he was going to get knocked down by Rolly. I know Rolly's a strong guy, especially him moving up in weight. He was going to knock down Ryan, but I at least expected Ryan to come back from it. Ryan didn't do nothing. It was like watching a shell of their former selves step into the ring and fight. Like, I don't know if they were like nervous, if the event was not what it was supposed to be. Maybe it's because it was out in the open and it's not like how it used to be, either in a stadium or an arena. But I can at least say it was disappointing as a major fight fan. It was very disappointing. Probably one of the worst boxing events that has happened this entire year. Now we're going to talk about 2 more things. Had to turn the light on here. It has been some time since the influencer boxing has kind of shook the world. The only person which I'm going to talk about now, which is Jake Paul, who is fighting in June. He's fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., which is going to be a very good fight. Julio looks good as of now. Saturday, May 17th, 2025. He looks good. He looks in shape. He looks like he's doing what he's supposed to do. Still has a couple of weeks before the fight starts, so hopefully he doesn't trim down too much. Hopefully he doesn't bulk up too much. Hopefully he stays the way he looks, so whenever we do see him fight Jake Paul, he's at his best. Same for Jake. He looks good. Whatever. Kind of fluffy. I think he needs to drop down quite a few pounds in order for him to be kind of successful where he wants to be. But either way, I think Jake and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is going to be a decent fight. Not really too particularly excited behind it, but I guess if you want to talk about an influencer side, that side's doing pretty well. Now let's talk about the Canelo Alvarez fight. Now Canelo fought on May 3rd, 2025. This is the day after the Saudi Arabia fight, or the New York Times Square fight that happened by Saudi Arabia, of course. Turki Al-Ashiki and Ring Magazine in New York Times Square. It was not the best event, and then on top of that, you have another event that pretty much hit the worst bar possible. Like Canelo Alvarez hitting the worst statistics possible in the past 30-40 years when it comes to punches thrown in the ring in this fight. And it's not even his fault. Like, what is going on? Canelo Alvarez has been known to be a major puncher, counter puncher. He's been known to throw 3, 4, 5 shots after his initial statement. And he's fighting William Skull, who has been, yes, he's a Cuban boxer. I get it. I truly understand his style of boxing, but he ran around the ring and survived 12 rounds against Canelo. Great. Cool. So a lot of fighters that did that. Jaime Munguia did that. Edgar Berlanga did that. They both got knocked down. Don't get me wrong. I guess William Skull didn't. He may have been, I guess you could say, scared to get knocked down by him. That's why he did what he did. I get it. But he showed no real true talent behind that. He just showed his cardio. William Skull himself, he showed nothing but cardio. Canelo just did what he had to do. He looked bad in front of the, quote, skilled boxer, the Cuban boxer. Not negating the Cuban style. I think it's a phenomenal style. I just think that he used too much of his Cuban style and did not do anything with it to prove that he could beat Canelo. He didn't do nothing. Canelo threw one of the worst and the lowest amount of punches in men's boxing history. One of. Like, Canelo Alvarez. It's insane to hear. But the co-main events between Badu Jack was really, really good. And then you have Martin Bakole. I mean, he actually got to redeem himself somewhat. It was a draw for that fight. I mean, Martin Bakole, I think he's a lot better than a lot of people think. He's going to show himself. He's going to prove himself. Mark my words, he's going to be a world champion one day. But despite the criticism that happened behind this fight, we still have the Terence Crawford fight that is coming in September, finally happening on September 12th, 2025, or September 13th, I think. I'm not entirely too sure. There was something that happened between him and Turkey and Dana White that was supposed to promote the fight between TKO and Ring Magazine, and it just kind of broke apart. Either way, the fight's happening 100%. They had a face-off. I cannot wait for this fight. This fight has been in the works for so many years, so many times that they've been talking about and debating, hey, is Terence Crawford actually good enough to beat Canelo? Or is Canelo skilled enough to beat Terence Crawford's skills? This fight's finally happening this year. Should happen this year, if everything goes well. Now with this fight, my prediction, this is my final prediction. This is where I'm going to go until September. I think that this fight is going to be a unanimous decision. Now with that being the decision, who is going to be the winner? I'm going to go with Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford is going to win this fight. Mark my words. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm going to go with that. Other than that, there's been a lot of things happening to the fight world, and I know I haven't been here to really talk about it, to be here for you for it, and I apologize. Like I said, I moved, and now I'm here in my new space. I am here, I am back, I'm ready to talk about all this boxing stuff that has been happening recently. Even though it hasn't been the most exciting, we still have things that are in place, like the Devin Haney as well as the Ryan Garcia fight, which I guess they're still gonna probably rematch, or if not, then Rolly and Devin Haney are gonna fight. Whatever's gonna happen, honestly, I can't wait to see it. Now on top of that, like I said, the mega super fight that's happening between Terence Crawford as well as Canelo Alvarez for the Ring Magazine, major fight that is happening in September 2025. Is going to be one of the biggest fights of the decade, maybe even the century of 2000s. It just might be. But I'm going to leave it off here as I spoke about all of what has happened between April as well as what's coming into June, even a little bit of September 2025. I will continue to keep talking about what is happening in the boxing world from now until then. So please drop a comment down below what you would like to see. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad to see you all back again. And like I said, even just a couple seconds before, let me know what you would like to see down in the comments below. I would like to talk more about UFC. I would like to talk more. Actually, I want to do more gaming stuff. I want to do gaming stuff. I want to do a whole bunch of stuff. I even might go back to, a little bit of motivation stuff, this and that. I want to start streaming. I want to do a lot of things. But I also need your help. So let me know what you would like to see. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.